This is the plaintiff, Andrew Luke. He says the defendant was his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, the guy she cheated on him with, if you can believe that. They got into an argument one night, and the defendant cold-cocked him, broke his jaw, and it had to be wired shut at the hospital. The louse should be held responsible, and he's suing for the $4,181.50 he's owed. This is the defendant, Tommy Spence. He says the plaintiff and his ex had a terrible relationship. He refused to leave the apartment and he shoved her to the ground. So he jumped in and punched the plaintiff during the scuffle in self-defense. The plaintiff is a maniac who can't control his emotions, and he got what he got because he deserved it. He's accused of smacking a guy, but good.
Okay, Andrew Luke?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Tommy Spence for $4,181.50 in hospital bills because he broke your jaw. Tell me what happened.
I was at home, and my girlfriend at the time, or ex, we were splitting up.
How long had you been dating her?
A year and a half.
All right, and how long ago had you split up before the night you're going to talk to me about?
It was maybe a month or so.
But you were still living together?
Yes.
On account of?
Until I found my own place.
Okay.
And she had told me that she was going out with a girlfriend that night. And so, she went out.
Were you trying to get back together with her?
No.
Okay.
And
because a month and a half later is like a long time. I'm wondering, like most people don't do that. So,
I mean, we were off and on for a while, and then just, we just finally split up, and I finally moved out.
Okay, go ahead.
They come home at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Who's they?
Was her and Tommy. She comes in the room. I'm asleep. She
into
wakes.
Your room? What's your sleeping arrangements?
Still slept in the same bed.
Really? Okay. Am I the only one who thinks that's awkward? Okay, go ahead. You also think it's awkward. Okay, go ahead.
She's like, I'm home. She wakes me up, and she goes back out in the living room.
She wakes you up to do what?
She just said she was home. Then I heard her whispering to Tommy. And so when I heard him, I got up out of bed and walked out in the living room and was like, what are you doing bringing him in here? And she said they were both too drunk to drive all the way back to his house. So then she got mad at me, and she comes running at me trying to hit me.
She got mad at you for what?
Because I was mad that she brought him in the apartment.
So she does what?
Tries to punch me.
How? Show me what she did physically.
She just tried to punch me. I put my arms up and just push her away. And then Tommy walks over and punched me in the jaw one time.
How far did you push her away?
Probably 3 or 4 feet.
And he comes over and punches you once?
Yes.
And that punch knocks you out or doesn't knock you out?
No.
He hits you, and then what happens?
I fell to the ground, and then we wrestled on the ground for a minute, and then she told him to get up, and we pulled us apart. And then Tommy got up, and eventually he just walked out of the apartment and took off. We didn't know where he went. And then she...
Did you know him before this?
Yes.
Okay. And so he leaves. You don't know where he's gone.
No.
Isn't his truck out there?
His truck's there. She has the keys. She goes out, gets in his truck, and starts driving around.
I thought she was too drunk to drive.
She was when they came home, but...
That sobered her up?
I guess.
So then she drives around looking for her. Did she find you?
Yes.
Where were you?
I was walking home.
How far do you live?
Oh, about 15 miles.
So how do you figure you were going to walk 15 miles home?
Well, I wasn't driving drunk, so.
That's true. You were just having bad judgment drunk, thinking you were going to walk 15 miles?
I could have either stayed there where the guy just punched in the face.
No, the whole thing was a mess. So did you figure he was calling the police?
I don't know.
Yeah, come on. So you're walking, so she finds you, and what happens?
She pulled over, and we talked for a little bit.
What did you guys talk about?
Well, it didn't go exactly as
How do you say it happened?
Said. Most of it's true. They were already broken up. He refused to move out of the apartment. So
and she's letting him sleep in the same bed?
Well, that's speculation. That's what he says.
That's not speculation. That's his testimony. What did she told you, that he wasn't?
That he slept in the bed, and she'd be on the couch, or vice versa.
Okay,
Never
go
in
on.
the same place. But Yeah, we came in. She never said she was going out to hang out with a friend. She was
I don't
actually
really care about that.
working
So you come in
night.
at 5 in the morning with her.
Yes.
And are you dating her? Or?
Yeah, we've been dating for
Okay.
a couple weeks at this point.
Because it couldn't have seemed like a good idea to go to that place where he is, right?
I agree.
Right. Okay. So you go in your infinite drunken wisdom. You decide to go ahead and go there. Whose idea was it? Yours or hers?
That was her idea.
And so you go there, and what happens?
So he comes out of his room, and he sees me, and he
She
starts
must be
screaming.
awful cute to get into this mess. Go ahead.
Yeah.
He comes out of his room.
And he starts screaming, what's this doing here? Get him out. He can't be here right now.
Did he know that you were dating her by then, or
Yes.
no?
Yes,
Okay.
he knew.
Go on.
So she gets up, and they start arguing back and forth, and I was just on the couch like, all right, something's going to happen here. I'm not happy about this. And then I see him shove her to the ground. So
she loses her balance and falls to the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's when I jumped up, and I punched him in the face, and he fell down. We started
Did she
wrestling around.
come after him, like he says?
It's very possible. I mean, they definitely were both very aggravated, yelling, throwing hands, and
Did she try to hit him?
I don't know for sure. I mean, I wouldn't deny that,
Okay.
but I'm not going to say she did.
I assume you were watching. You weren't flipping through a magazine.
Right.
Right.
But it was pretty quick.
And then, so you go, because he pushes her, you go to defend her, and you hit him once.
Yes.
Apparently, you have a very powerful blow. You don't call the police that night.
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Because Tommy was on probation, I believe, 2 times.
Who was?
Tommy.
He was on probation?
I believe he is, or was, or still is.
Is or was you on probation
I was on probation, yes.
at that time?
Yes.
So the guy who just broke your jaw, you didn't want to get him in trouble?
Hey.
You know, it's funny because the guy who broke my jaw, I want him in trouble. If I find out he's on probation, I'm only happier because he just broke my jaw. You don't call the police. Do you go to the doctor?
I went to the hospital about, I believe, 2 or 3 days later.
But what is going on with your face in those 2 or 3 days? Like, when he hit you, didn't you know that you've been hurt?
No, ma'am. I never had a broken bone. I didn't know. I mean,
Didn't it hurt?
My face wasn't swollen.
Didn't it hurt?
It hurt to chew food. That was it. It didn't hurt to talk. So I thought it was just maybe bruised. I didn't
Right.
know it was broke for like 2 days.
And then after 2 days, what happened?
I went to the hospital.
And what happened?
They did a CAT scan and told me I had a fractured jaw, and I had my jaw wired shut for 2 weeks.
During those 2 weeks, how do you eat?
Straight liquid diet.
Right. And then they take the wiring off,
Yeah.
and that's it.
I had, I believe, 1 or 2 more checkups, and then that was it. They
All
just
right.
said it
And
takes.
you've incurred $4,181.50 in bills.
Yes.
Okay. And what, you have an x-ray here for me to see? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I brought a CAT scan CDN, but there's
Let me see it.
That's the front of my face. That's my jaw that's fractured right
Ooh,
there
look
on
at
this
that.
side.
Oh, that's awful. Does it still hurt?
No, ma'am.
Where's the girl? Did you keep seeing her?
We're still friends. Yeah, we stayed together for a little while.
Why'd you guys end up, did you break up?
Yes.
And why did you break up?
We just both had a lot going on, and just wasn't good timing for us.
Too much drama? And
That was definitely part of
where's
it,
the
yeah.
girl vis-a-vis you? Because you say that you're attempting to work things out.
We're still together.
You're together again?
Yes.
Are you still living there and she's still living there?
No.
This is fascinating. You broke the guy's jaw, man.
I just feel he had it coming to him.
And you feel he had it coming to him because he had pushed her.
But
What were you on probation for?
I was working without a contractor's license.
Your defense, if I understand you, is I was coming to her defense because he pushed her. Okay. And you say that you cannot deny that he might have pushed her because she was trying to hit him. Self-defense also includes defense of another.
Okay.
And that means that if you're trying to stop imminent danger from happening to somebody else, you're entitled to meet his force with the amount of force that it's going to take, okay, to stop his force, his inappropriate force on someone else. That implies 2 things. Number 1, the amount of force you used was, in fact, the appropriate force to repel his illegal force. Just because you broke his jaw, I'm not going to look at that and say, oh, it was too much. Because when you punch a guy once, you punch a guy once. Now, one punch can kill a guy. We actually have a name for it. It's called a one-punch homicide. But you punched a guy once. You didn't beat him to a pulp and break all his legs because he pushed her. You punched him once. So I am not prepared to say you met it with brutal force. It just, your force ended up hitting him right the exact spot to end up causing some serious damage. Okay. But 2, I got to believe, not that your street justice is kind of great and isn't it great to date a guy who comes to a girl's defense, I got to believe that your coming to the defense to stop it was appropriate. Now, you're pushing her, and your answer is, well, I just pushed her in self-defense because I'm trying to repel her trying to hit me, which you're not. I assumed that you were going to say that never happened, but you're saying, well, no, I'm not going to deny that happened. So she's trying to hit you. What is a guy in his position supposed to do? Walk away and leave his girlfriend with you having pushed her and just say, all right, I'm out of here? Is that what a guy's supposed to do to be? I just don't, I don't know. I don't know who eats this bill. I got to think about this. Court's in recess.
All rise. And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you live under the same roof with your ex?
Yeah, as long as he's making a financial contribution and we're not fighting all the time, I could live with him.
Well, that may be why he's your ex, though. Going inside, what do you think?
Yeah, I think absolutely. If there's some clear boundaries on like what is an ex, what
You guys are very understanding. Who wouldn't live with their ex here? Okay, hold on.
I think you broke up for a reason, you're not making it work, and living together, that's just crazy. That's a recipe for disaster. Someone's going to come home and someone's going to be dead. Don't do it.
Okay, I wasn't going to be quite that extreme, but thank you. Going inside the courtroom.
Let me ask you a question. When he pushed your girlfriend, did you hit him because he's a jerk?
Yes.
And you'd had enough of him?
Yes.
Or did you hit him to stop him from hurting her?
It was both. To be honest with you, I've heard a lot of bad things about the way he treated her.
What had she told you?
Said that he had used to give her black eyes a lot. He had put her on the floor and pinned her down with his knee on her jaw. Used to choke her out.
It's a close one. This is a very close one. Because on the one hand, he can't hit you because you're a jerk, or he thinks you're a jerk. He can't hit you because he doesn't like you and he feels like you should have moved out. He can't hit you because he's jealous. Those are not reasons to legitimately hit someone. But when you push somebody across the room and according to him, that person has told you that he's been violent with me before, does that mean that, oh, he can stand between you and push you back, but he can't punch you once? If he had stabbed you as a result of this, there'd be no question that wasn't self-defense or defense of another, because it would have been such excessive force. The problem that we have here is it's just one punch. He just steps in there and just one punch. You didn't think it was that big a deal. That's why you didn't call the cops. It was just one of those things until it wasn't. It's very hard to, after the fact, quarterback this and say it was right or it was not right. But what I keep coming down to, if I'm standing there with my husband, somebody pushes me, who I'm having a fight with, who I've told my husband, yeah, this ex-boyfriend of mine, he's given me a black eye before, and he pushes me a few feet, and my husband doesn't come in there and smack you once in the jaw, I don't know what I'm going to do with my husband. He better worry about having his mouth wired shut. It just, I'm sorry that the result was so out of proportion to the situation. I'm sorry that he has a good fist and hit you right where it was, and that you realized 2 days later that it had such a bad astronomical effect. But I can't do it. I can't say that, when you push his girlfriend a couple of feet, and particularly with what he said, whether it's true or not, she's telling him that, I just can't say that him punching you once was so out of the norm to stop you from pushing her and stop what's going on between you two that he now has to pay you $5,000. I just can't. I can't get myself to do it. Verdict in this case is for the defendant.
One of the toughest decisions Judge Million's ever made. Come on in here. You're on the losing end of it. What's your reaction to this outcome?
Pretty unhappy. I mean, I got punched in the face. I mean, he said a lot of stuff in there that wasn't true, and
What do you want to refute?
a lot of the comments he said, that a lot of the stuff that he said that my ex-girlfriend or whatever.
Did
at
you
the
ever give her a
time-
black eye?
No, sir.
Why would she say that to him?
I don't think she did say that to him. I think he just said and made a lot of stuff up.
But you're still going out with her now, right?
Yes, we're together.
Well, I guess. Okay. All right, you head right down this way. Come on in here. All right, step on in here. First of all, your thoughts about the outcome here?
I'm pretty happy with it, actually. Mm-hmm. Of course, I mean, I won the case. So.
Yeah, well, if like you said, he was rough with her and violent with her and stuff, why would you go back with him? I mean, you're not her, but what do you think?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think he's telling the truth about that either.
Yeah, what sense? What do you mean?
I don't think that they're back together.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you may have used excessive force in there?
Absolutely not. If anything, I think he's lucky that's all he got.
Okay, let's go to Harvey.
Okay, what you need to know is when you use self-defense, it's a very subjective thing. How much you can use depends on the circumstances, and it is risky business to really let loose because you could end up on the wrong side of the law. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.